everyone, it's Elizabeth from Fern Stickers. I'm trying out a different spot for a video. I guess it's a fireside chat in front of our fireplace with no fire in it. But I am here today to share some big news, which is that I am pregnant. If you saw my goals for the year, you knew this was something that might be on the horizon that was coming. And in this video, I'm gonna give you the details, or what details I have to share so far, and also talk about how I've been feeling so far. I do want to start off with a little bit of a disclaimer that I know that pregnancy content is not what everyone is interested in, and I'm going to try to keep it pretty clear what is about pregnancy and what's not, so that if you're not interested, you can tune out and enjoy other stuff. So like in my plan with me's, there'll be some stuff that's inevitable that I'm gonna include, but for the most part, I'll try to keep information, keep stuff about talking about pregnancy out of my plan with me's and planning videos. If you are somebody who wants to be a parent, wants to be pregnant, and for whatever reason are not, know that I really feel for you, and I know that this probably isn't for you. And for your mental health, if you need to tune out, please do, because I know that it's hard and you're not making it about you by knowing yourself and knowing that this is not content that you can consume where you are right now. So I just want to know that you are seen and not forgotten about. So anyway, let's talk about some of the big details. So I am due December 1st, and when you see this video, I am 19 weeks, and I did not mean to wait so long to share on social media, but for various reasons, it made sense to wait to tell work. And even though the only people that follow me on social media who are coworkers or like my friends who already know that I'm pregnant, you know, it's just not a good look to announce on social media before you've talked to your boss about it. So that's why I waited to talk about this. So yeah, when you see this, I'm 19 weeks, so I'm almost halfway through pregnancy at this point, and I'm really excited to be able to share this with you now. We don't know the sex of the baby, and we are not planning to find out. We are going to be surprised. If you've watched my plan with me's, for the most part, I haven't had to like do too much to hide, but there have been two big things. Number one, I have not been running since, I'd have to go back and look for sure, but probably since 7 or 8 weeks. I got really out of breath really fast, and so I had to slow down so much to be able to run without being out of breath, and it just wasn't fun. So anytime I've had a run in there, it has been a walk instead. I've been doing a lot of walking, but running has not happened for a while, and there have also been doctor's appointments that I've left out of my planner to avoid rousing suspicion. But other than that, everything has been pretty accurate. I want to talk a little bit about the how I've been feeling so far and my symptoms. So I'll start with the first trimester. So the first trimester, the biggest thing was just being really, really tired. And I feel like I haven't heard people talk about this very much. I think that people focus so much on the nausea, which is understandable because being nauseous all the time is miserable. But I feel like people focus so much on the nausea that they don't talk about the fatigue. But I was like, during the first trimester, I was pretty regularly sleeping 10 hours a night and then often taking a 2-hour nap. And I was still ready to go to bed at like 6:30 every night. And I'm someone who, like, for Fern Creek stuff, for grad school, I can do it a late night, I can push through fatigue, but this pregnancy fatigue is not like that. Like, you just cannot stay up. And there were a lot of nights when Brian would come and find that I had fallen asleep reading in bed, which is not something I usually do. So I was super, super tired. That was my number one symptom. A couple other things. I was really thirsty. I still am really thirsty, drinking a ton of water. And also, I've never really been an ice water person, but now my water has to be cold. So drinking lots and lots of ice water. In terms of nausea in the first trimester, I was very fortunate. I never threw up, and I mostly just had that kind of like all day, your stomach feels kind of unsettled nausea, but I really only had that for a few weeks. So nothing, I never felt like I needed to throw up. I was way better than a lot of people have it in pregnancy, but just, you know, just didn't quite feel right. And I kind of wanted to eat like a toddler, like, you know, popsicles and mac and cheese. That was what sounded pretty good to me. So that was what in terms of nausea. I think probably for the biggest thing for me though were some food aversions though, and the heightened sense of smell. So food aversions, I really had a lot of trouble with vegetables, and I still am to a certain extent. I'm still having a lot of issues with cooked vegetables, and even some raw vegetables like salad. I can eat a good sized salad, but I need to eat it slowly and like eat other things in between. I can't just eat a salad. So definitely some food aversions, but the heightened sense of smell was the one that was really rough. And the thing that was weird was I felt like the different floors of our house all smelled different, and the transition between the different smells was too hard. So I spent like the days I was working from home, I would just work on the couch most of the time instead of in my office, because then if I needed something from the kitchen, I didn't have to go to a different floor. But this actually affected things with Fern Creek a little bit because the basement smelled so bad to me, and that's where the Fern Creek stuff is. So I really dreaded having to go to the basement to work on stickers. And I was working at that point on the July kits, and I really started to associate those designs with like feeling nauseous, which was weird. Fortunately, I don't have that now that I'm using those kits. I was actually a little worried though when I was starting to film the July Plan With Me's and pulling out those July stickers. I was like, am I gonna feel nauseous looking at these? Fortunately, I did not, but I was a little bit worried. So I think that was pretty much it for the first trimester. So mostly really tired, you know, a little bit of kind of an unsettled stomach, food aversions, a sensitive smell, really thirsty. And in the second trimester, so I feel like I had maybe 4 really good weeks, like end of the first trimester, beginning of the second trimester, where I felt like I was getting that second trimester energy and feeling a lot better. And now I'm back to being tired again. Not nearly as tired as the first trimester, but there have been a couple days when it is like 6:30 and I'm like, all I can do is sit on the couch. I really can't do anything else. I'm hoping that this is a little bit temporary because I know that right now is a big period of growth, and I'm hoping that in a few weeks I will have a little more energy again, because I hear the third trimester gets pretty rough in terms of fatigue. So I'm not necessarily looking forward to that. But overall, I think I'm having a pretty easy pregnancy, and I'm not having I really haven't had any round ligament pain yet. There've been a couple times when I'm working out, but it's just been very brief and not too painful. Haven't had any Braxton Hicks yet. So for the most part, I am doing pretty well. I think the biggest thing is I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to, like, I don't know, feel more pregnant in terms of like, not just like first trimester hormonal symptoms, like, oh, there's actually something down there. I have not felt the baby kick yet. I'll find out. I don't know where my placenta is because that can affect feeling the baby's movement, but also at this point it's normal for a first time mom to have not felt anything yet. So I haven't felt movement yet, but I can definitely, especially like when I roll over in bed at night, it's like, oh, there's something, I can like really feel that there's something heavy down there that there didn't used to be before. And it's also getting to the point where I start to, if I bend over, it's a little uncomfortable, I get a little short of breath. And I'm noticing too that especially with weights workouts, I'm not recovering as quickly. So when I do a next workout 2 days later, I'll still be a little bit sore or fatigued from the previous workout. And I'm also just getting a little bit more tired from doing everyday things. So on Sunday, I went and ran a bunch of errands. At the end of the day, like my legs and feet were kind of sore, but it was like not anything that would have been wild pre-pregnancy, not anything I would have felt tired or sore from. So definitely starting to slow down a little bit physically, but again, fortunately, I'm having so far an easy pregnancy, able to stay pretty active, and even though vegetables aren't quite agreeing with me, I am eating a ton of fruit. So far today, I have eaten 3 peaches. Fruit has always been amazing to me, but fruit tastes even better than it ever did. So that's one plus at least. So I'm looking forward to being able to feel the baby, and we have our anatomy scan in about 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to that too, just to make sure that everything is okay with the baby and to, you know, get more information. And we've so far only had 1 ultrasound at 9 weeks. It's been a while, but I have had 2 doctor's appointments where we got to hear the heart rate on the Doppler. So all of that is going really well. There's a lot, I don't know what this means in terms of Fern Creek yet. That's something I'll be figuring out, especially since I'll be having the baby early December, and I'll also be losing Danielle in December. So I'll keep you posted, but we're still looking at possibilities and trying to figure things out. The good thing is we certainly didn't plan this due date specifically. It ended up just being really lucky. I wasn't thinking about it at all, but I'm due December 1st and our semester ends December 2nd. So I'm gonna be able to work this whole semester, and then I will have the spring, I will be on maternity leave, but it actually works out to a really long leave because I'll get winter break, the spring semester, and then summer break before I have to go back to work again. So I'll essentially get to be home with my baby from December through mid-August, which is really amazing. So I am so fortunate with that, and that was like, again, I wasn't even really thinking about the timing or when expected due dates would be or anything like that. So I feel really, really fortunate that I'm gonna have like the maximum amount of time off. And I know in the US, a lot of parents really don't have very good options, and so I feel very fortunate that I do. I will be doing later in July, I'm gonna be doing a Q&A video because it's been a while since I've done one of those. So if you have any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be pregnancy related, but I certainly can answer pregnancy questions. You can leave them down below and I will answer them in my Q&A video. So again, Brian and I are so excited about this, and I'm really excited to be able to finally share this news with you all.